Welcome back. 110 million Egyptians are going to focus on what's going on, what will go on, exactly 9 p.m. Cairo local time in Yaoundé in Cameroon. The Egyptians are going to be that ready to receive the 8th African Princess, AFCON 2021. Egypt is going to meet Senegal in the final of the AFCON 2021, and this is going to be such a clash, not only between Egypt and Senegal, but also between the two teammates of Liverpool, Egypt's Mo Salah and Senegal's Sadio Mane. Well, to shed more light on this, we are very much delighted to have with us via phone Mr. Mohamed Adel, our sports analyst. Hello, Mr. Adel.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir. Well, today or tonight, it's going to be a marathon, not an ordinary match between two rivals, Egypt and Senegal. Egypt is going to work for the 8th title, and Senegal is going to try to clinch the very first AFCON title. Your expectations, how it's going to work, or at least how it's going to start. I mean, after how many minutes we are going to know how the match is going to proceed?
Well, it will be from the first 15 minutes. It's one of the most difficult games ever for Egypt and Senegal. It's the first time for Egypt and Senegal to meet in the final. Well, in the knockouts, I believe that the last time Egypt met Senegal, it was in 2006 in the semifinals when Egypt beat Senegal 2-1. We remember the very well-known game when there was a clash between Ahmed and the Captain Hassan Shahata, and we beat Senegal 2-1 in the semifinals of 2006. Tonight it will be one of the most difficult games. Two professional teams, they did great in the AFCON this time. Senegal had many professional and many talented players. Where all people will talk about Sadio Mane, what we'll talk about Edouard Mendy, the goalkeeper.
The goalkeeper.
Yes, the best goalkeeper in the world.
Yes.
As of FIFA, the best this year. Edouard Mendy is doing a great season, not only with Senegal, but also with Chelsea. He's doing great with Chelsea, so Sadio Mane and Edouard Mendy, many players are doing great. Kalidou Koulibaly, they have the defender, the central back of Napoli. He's one of the best central back defenders in the world nowadays. He's doing great also with Napoli this season. So we are going to watch a very difficult game for both teams, Egypt and Senegal.
And in the press conference, the coach of Senegal said Egypt is the best on the Arab level, but we are going to try to contain the danger or the threat of the best player in the world, Mo Salah, and after that it's going to work easier for us. On the other hand, Mo said that I spoke with Mane, we are going to be rivals tonight, and tomorrow we are going to turn back as teammates of Liverpool. By the way, how do you see Salah's statements in the press conference? How do you see his way of representing Egypt in such gathering?
Well, it's not just the press conference yesterday, but the press conferences of all the games Salah represents Egypt. He is doing great. He is doing as a captain for the Egyptian team. His words are meant and chosen, not just words and that's it, but they are chosen words to be said and represent the Egyptian team in the press conferences. Salah is doing great. As a captain, is doing great. As a player in the Egyptian team, about the press conference of Salah and Aliou Cissé, the head coach of Senegal, they are speaking very well. Aliou Cissé speaking very well about Egypt. Of course, he will not say that Egypt is the best African team because he is a head coach of an African team who will play final. So he should put and give confidence for his team, for his fans, for every Senegalese will watch the game tonight, inshallah. So I believe the press conferences are doing went well from the Egyptian side and the Senegalese side.
Before going to Kirosh and to the preferred squad from your own point of view, you know what made all of us optimistic about tonight is the South African Victor Gomez. When
Yes.
we know that Victor Gomez is going to be the one responsible for the whole story, far from Nidaya and Gassama Sikazoi and the unfortunate performance of our African referees, I think tonight it's going to be a way to show the African football arena how a good referee should act. If you agree with me on that. And of course, Radwan Jayed of Morocco for the VAR.
Absolutely, I agree, because even beyond the performance of Victor Gomez, which is great, he had a great history with us. He was a referee for 4 games for Egypt. Egypt won 4 times. It was versus Uganda, first time in the World Cup qualification 2018, then versus Tunisia in the African 2019 qualification, which we did participate in before being relocated in Egypt in 2019. Then versus Congo, Democratic Congo 2018, and then versus Libya in qualification for World Cup for 2022 when we bet the Libyan team in Benigazi 3-0. So Victor Gomez, one of the most professional referees in Africa. I believe he is #1 nowadays in Africa.
Amen to that. I do also agree
yes,
he is
yes.
#1. He
Yes,
is
and
#1,
our
of course, along with Radwan Jayed of Al Maghreb, Mustafa Ghurbal of Algeria, Haytham Yaqut of Tunisia. We do have good referees, but unfortunately, the refereeing performance in this edition of the AFCON is really controversial. And it's no secret that the EFA filed an official complaint of what happened with us from Bakary Gassama in the last match against Cameroon. Well, Mr. Adel.
Mustafa Ghurbal and Radwan Jayed missed the final because of the presence of Egypt. That's it.
Yes.
But if Egypt is not in the final, I believe Mustafa Ghurbal and Radwan Jayed, they deserve to be in the final game. He deserves to be a referee in the final game. We saw Radwan Jayed yesterday in the Cameroon game versus Burkina Faso. He did great in this.
And it was another marathon when Cameroon came from behind after being defeated 3-0.
From far away.
Yeah.
From nil 3 to draw, then the penalty kick. It was a great game. Radwan Jayed did a great game as a referee yesterday.
Their giant Boubacar, when he entered the pitch and scored 2 goals, and you know, when I watched him, I was just thinking about our Mohamed Abdelmenem. Our Mohamed Abdelmenem, who did great to stop Abu Bakar from being that dangerous on Gabaski's net. Well, let's go to tonight and to take your vision regarding the preferable squad, starting with, of course, Gabaski, and I don't know if medically Shenawi is going to be fit for being the substitute. Unfortunately, if God forbids something happened to Gabaski, but far from the goalkeeping position, the other names are.
From the right to the left, it will be, I believe, Imam Ashoud, Mahmoud Hamid, Mohamed Abdelmenem, and Ahmed Abu Fatouh. It's for the defensive line. For the midfield line, I believe Mohamed Al-Nini, Amr Sulaya, and Mohamed Fathi. And the defensive line will be Mohamed Salah, Omar Marmoush, and Mustafa Mohamed.
Yeah, not to start with Mohamed Sharif.
Nope, Mustafa Mohamed is doing a great job with Kirosh team. He's doing what are not we are not used to see Mustafa Mohamed. He's the first defensive line of Kirosh.
Yep.
If we remember what's happening versus Morocco, versus Ivory Coast, and versus Cameroon, Mustafa Mohamed is responsible for being with the first midfield player for each team. We remember what happened with Soufiane Mrabit of Morocco. He is one of the best players of Moroccan team. He is the
I'm speaking, sir, if you permit me to interrupt here. There are names who played the 120 minutes in 3 matches.
Yes.
And they are very exhausted. Here, how I should deal with that? I should deal with that at just going through with the same squad as you've kindly mentioned, or to take into consideration that I should inject new blood just to avoid the repercussions of this exhaustion on the players, since we watched the whole world watched how the players are practicing their recovery in Cameroon.
It's not preferable to inject new blood in the final. It's the final. They played 360 consecutive minutes in the knockout, but we are playing the final. Any change will be happen in the final. It will be not that good for the Egyptian team. Imam Ashur will play today because Omar Kamal is suspended because of the 2 yellow cards.
So, in your opinion, Trezeguet, Ramadan Sobhi, Mohamed Sharif should not start? A yes or no question?
And first of all, Ahmed Said Zizou. They are good reserve players.
Reserve, but not to start with.
No. We start with the same team. Trezeguet, Ramadan Sobhi, Mohamed Sharif, and Ahmed Said Zizou will be great when they participate in the second half or in the extra time. They are doing the difference when they go
they made us feel more safe and secure, as we do have alternatives or substitutes who are capable to change the whole course of the game.
These games are the games of the substitutes. The knockout games are the games of the substitutes. So we should keep it as it is. The team as it is. The 11-player team will begin as it is, and the substitutes, as we saw in the knockout teams, the knockout games, they will do the difference, as Trezeguet did, as Ahmed Said Zizou did, as Ramadan Sobhi did, especially versus Cameroon in the semi-final.
Yes. Since we are running out of time, I should seize the opportunity to also ask you about yesterday and about Cairo Devils of Al Ahli, the sole representative of Egypt in the Club World Cup, which is taking place in the United Arab Emirates. And the Cairo Red Devils started their journey in the prestigious competition with a 1-0 victory over Monterrey of Mexico, despite the absences, whether for injury or for missing their players who are participating with our national team in Cameroon. Generally, how have you seen the performance of Al Ahli in this match?
Well, it was a great performance. Mohamed played versus Monterrey as he should play versus this team. Played with the counter-attack formation, for counter-attack way of thinking, counter-attack way of playing. Al Ahli had many veteran and good and professional players. We're talking about Ali Maloul, Al Ali Diang. They are veteran players. Mohamed Magdi Afsha, they are Hussein Shahat, Tahir Mohamed Tahir. They are basics of Al Ahli team. Al Ahli team. Ali Dokfi is excellent goalkeeper, and he's a 30-year goalkeeper. He's not that.
But to discover newcomers like Karim Fouad and like Mohamed Al Maghrabi in the defense line, they are brand new. I mean, you are speaking about players in their early 20s or even less than that. The inclusion of such elements, how do you see them integrating into the big team as if they are playing together for years?
Okay, I have 2 words to answer. Remember the reply for Mohamed Abdel Menem, Omar Kamal Abdel Wahed, Mohamed Lachid. That's it.
Yeah, sure.
The integration with the Egyptian team and versus
Amen to that.
Mohamed Maghrabi Mohamed Maghrabi and Karim Fouad with the Al-Ahli team. They are playing. They did play with the team in the third cup, which is the Kas al-Rabita of Egypt. They did integrate and did participate with Al-Ahli for 4 or 5 games. I believe the confidence of Tite Mosimane with these 2 players, whether Karim Fouad or Mohamed Maghrabi, when they participated with Al-Ahli in the Kas al-Rabita competition, then because of the absence of many players, they played yesterday with Al-Ahli versus Montpellier.
I was just afraid from playing under pressure of the thousands of fans who fill the standings of Al Nahyan Stadium. This is not an easy job for the youngsters. Yes. But sir, let's go to the next step. Cairo Devils of Al-Ahli are going to meet with Palmeiras of Brazil in the semi-final, trying to book a ticket for the final. And they are also South Americans. I mean, yesterday it was against a Mexican team. On Tuesday, inshallah, it's going to be against a Brazilian team. So yesterday, is it a good rehearsal for how Al-Ahli should play against the Palmeiras team?
I believe yes. Al-Ahli played versus Palmeiras in the Club World Cup last year, and Al-Ahli won the game versus Palmeiras. I believe it will be a good push for the Al-Ahli players to play versus Palmeiras. Palmeiras is the Libertadores Cup holder for the second time. It will be a hard game, but I believe Al-Ahli will do it because of the first of all, because of the history. We didn't watch
because of the spirit above all, whether for our national squad or for Al-Ahli.
And the fans, they are doing great. Fans
sure.
Sure. I believe if this game is not on a nation or a country like the United Arab Emirates, I believe the result will differ. But
Mr. Mohamed Adel, thank you very much for your input, sir. Have a very good day, and we wish the best of luck for our national team in their marathon against Senegal tonight, and we wish the best of luck for Al-Ahli as representing Egypt in the Club World Cup next Tuesday, inshallah, against Palmeiras. Well, by this we come to the end of this episode. By this we come to the end of our breakfast show of today. Tomorrow is another day with another crew. Stay tuned on Nile TV International always for more updates. And for more details, please log on to www.nileinternational.net. Many thanks for watching. This was Nermeen Abdurrahman.